Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our Getting Started with Email Campaigns webinar. We're going to wait a minute or two and wait for everyone to join us. Hi, everyone. I see a lot of attendees rolling in. Welcome to Getting Started with Email Drip Campaigns. We're just going to wait another minute for everyone to join us today and we'll get started.
I'm going to tag in just a couple reminders while we're waiting on a few more individuals to join us. Your question and answer box is going to be populated either at the top or the bottom of your screen. You can ask questions at any time during today's session. Either one of us will answer it live or we'll save it for the last 15 minutes. If there's something that we're talking about that's pertinent to that question at that time, we can address it in real time as well.
Thanks, Kimberly. All right, it's 1:02, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to Pipeline's Getting Started with Email Drip Campaigns webinar. My name is Chelsea. I'm a marketer here at Pipeline, and I'm joined today by Kimberly Longhauser, our Customer Success Manager. So we're gonna talk about our feature today. We're gonna do, actually, I'm sorry, pause. Before we get started, we're going to conduct a poll just to do a pulse check of everyone's knowledge of email drip campaigns. So Kimberly plopped up a poll on your screen. So can you take a moment to tell us about your knowledge of email drip campaigns? And this will help guide our conversation and our dialogue today. Awesome. All right, we've got 71 participants. We've got 50 plus responses. This is great. So far, a trend I'm seeing is a lot of us have never heard of or used drip campaigns. We still got some straggling responses coming in. About 60. Okay, that's a good pulse check. I think that's plenty to get started. So what I'm seeing is the majority of us today have never heard of or used drip campaigns. Some of us have used them before, but only 3 of you are sending them weekly or on a regular basis. Amazing. So thank you for that insight. I'm going to end the poll. Let's move forward. So based on that, hopefully we can learn a lot today. So today we're going to review what drip campaigns are. I'm going to explain the benefits, why we do them, what it can do for you in your business, how to get started, specifically the 5 steps that every drip campaign needs, regardless of your business size or industry, some best practices to keep in mind, some examples just to kind of inspire you and get you started. And then I'm going to flip it over to Kimberly, and she's going to conduct a featured demo. And at the end, there's a resource review that we've pulled together with some helpful links that you can visit. And we're going to send this slide deck out so you can review this and refer to it, and then check out those links after. Okay, let us get started. So I'm trigger happy. Okay, what is an email drip campaign? So at its core, an email drip campaign is a marketing strategy, and it enables you to send automated email sequences when certain conditions are met. So these are pre-written messages, they're scheduled in advance, and they're set to specific people or a specific audience after a particular trigger. So a good example would be like a welcome email. So you create a new person in Pipeline. So that trigger, that action is going to trigger a pre-scheduled, pre-written email or email sequence that you've crafted. And this is carefully planned to reach the right person at just the right time. So these are highly effective because of that. So there are a ton of benefits in using drip campaigns for your business along the entire customer journey. So the first one I have here is save time, but really you save time across this entire journey because it can automate repetitive tasks. It can automate customer engagement. And it can save time by just replicating a campaign that you want to run over and over again. And instead of doing it manually, of course, it's automated, and it's automated based on a trigger. So you set it up and something happens in pipeline, boop, it's triggered to run and it just goes. You can nurture leads with increased brand awareness and perception. So nurturing leads is continuing to engage with people in pipeline that aren't yet customers. So you want to continue to engage them and talk to them and make them aware of your brand, or have them have a favorable view of your brand, and that helps them to convert to a customer. This is really effective in boosting conversions because in email drip campaigns, every email, it should contain a call to action, which is encouraging them to take an action, which we're going to talk about later. But this is going to incentivize them to continue to move in the next phase of the customer journey. So we're researching, we want to sign up for something, we want to convert to a customer, we want to, do something, and this is going to help them kind of automatically move through this journey. It increases engagement. So kind of maybe in the middle is a good place for this when you have a customer and you want to encourage them to engage with your brand, and you want them to be more active, maybe expand business with you, or just, continue to do business with you. And then you can build relationships with relevant content. So you can send personalized and relevant content to specific individuals or target audiences. So say you want to take a target audience and send them something specific that's relevant to this target, that's not relevant to all of your customers, maybe based on their title, maybe based on their industry, how long they've been doing business with you. Like maybe a first-time customer gets something different than a tenured customer would. And then lastly, staying top of mind. Right? Once you've made that relationship, you want to just keep it strong and continue to either help them or engage with them, send them recommendations for new products or services that might add value to your business relationship. Okay, so let's talk about how we do this, getting started in 5 easy steps. And so we're going to use a welcome email as an example, just to sort of illustrate how we can execute these steps. Welcome emails are a highly effective starting point for email drip campaigns because they're your brand is right top of mind of this prospect or this lead, and it just leaves a nice favorable impression. You just make a good first impression, right? And a lot of times in this, you're going to send a discount or something that they can do with your email, and because of this, welcome emails see an 81% open rate as opposed to an average email open rate of 21%. Very effective. So the first 3 steps: identify your audience, determine your goal, set a trigger. So let's talk about this. Identify your audience. Personalization matters. Let's take a quick detour. So personalization is so important today because unfortunately, major super apps or big businesses and big tech have really run away with this. So people, consumers, businesses, vendors, everyone, they just come to expect personalization. So think about when you're on Netflix, recommended movies for you. When you're on Amazon, recommended products. When you're on Facebook, people you may know. That's personalization. And so we see this everywhere. And so when they engage with your brand or your business, there's just sort of this expectation just across the board, right? With every business that they're engaging with. And a lot of times it could even be subconscious. So personalization matters, and email drip campaigns are a really easy way to personalize communication going out to your contacts. So for example, for a welcome email, the audience is new contacts. We're going to add a new person. That's my audience. Other examples could be of your audience: leads, new contacts, first-time customers, recurring customers, like I said, tenured customers, or maybe contracts that are about to expire. There's a lot of options. And then you want to determine your goal. What am I trying to accomplish with this email drip campaign? So for the welcome email, we want to increase engagement. We want to increase, brand perception. We want to engage with these leads. So other goals could be, I want to promote a new service. I want to generate more leads, gather customer feedback, grow sales, increase engagement. These are kind of high level. The third step, set a trigger. So what's going to happen that's going to trigger this message? Drip campaigns rely on triggers. This is the bread and butter. So for pipeline, a really easy one for welcome email is when a person is created, plop them into my welcome email drip campaign. Other examples could be when they sign up for something, when a proposal or a quote is sent, when they book a consultation, or they have some sort of booking with you, when a deal is created, or when a deal is won or lost. Okay, and then steps 4 and 5, we've got write your emails, monitor your performance. So write your emails. This is where we add the call to action that I talked about previously. A call to action is highly specific. What very specific action do you want them to take after reading your email? So in a welcome email, it would say, hi, welcome Kimberly to Pipeline. We're so excited you're here. Please click here to sign up for my newsletter. Best wishes, Chelsea. Right? There's a specific action that you want them to take, and that could be different in, based on what your goal is. So when you're writing your emails, consider a few things, right? Who your audience is. The way that you talk to leads or prospects are different than the way that you're going to talk to your current customers, and it might be different across various target audiences in your business. Decide which metrics you're going to track. So for this, I want to track who's going to sign up for my newsletter. I can do that with my click-through rate, which is kind of marketing jargon, but all that means is of the people that open my email, did they click on it? Which is trackable in Pipeline, which we'll talk about later. Ensure your triggers match your message. So if I'm trying to trigger them signing up for my newsletter, that should be in the message, right? That the call to action matches the messaging, and it's very clear what you're asking of them. And then how many emails you send in what order. So do I just want to send one? You could send 3. You could set up an email drip campaign that sends automatically 3 different messages with kind of different content that is pushing them along the user journey. And lastly, we're going to monitor our performance. So Kimberly is going to show this to you, but in our email drip campaigns and the feature enhancement, there's a reports tab where we're going to automatically give you all this information. Okay, we're going to show you the open rate, which is the percentage of people that opened your email relative to how many you sent. The click-through rate, or the CTR, which means if you put anything in that message, did they click on those things? Unsubscribe, and other really helpful metrics that are going to help you analyze and monitor your performance. And so you can look at these metrics, see how it goes over time, and then how you can improve it. And best practices. So there are 4 best practices to keep in mind while you're crafting your messages. Personalization, we talked about this is super key. And when you personalize messages to your customers, you are makes it easier for you to create a relationship with them. They trust you because they know that you know at least who they are, where they are in their journey, what they're looking for, what their needs are. The call to action, the very specific action that you want them to take, make sure it's very clear. Brand consistency. So when customers recognize your brand, and that's consistent across, all of your channels, your website, your email, your tone, the way that you talk about your business, they're more likely to obviously recognize your brand and then commit to your company for the long term. And then easy to read. Everything nowadays, it's very has to be easy to read. Our attention spans are always decreasing, and that's true really across the board. So it's very important to make the message easy to read, and think skimmable content. Like, could they kind of pick through and just pick out the most important bits? Is that going to stand out? So they just get the most important parts of the message that you're trying to convey. And here's a couple ideas to get you started. So welcome new contacts. I like this one because it's really easy and it's super, super effective. So you can welcome new contacts. Again, there's what is this? MailChimp told us that there was an 81% open rate for these, which is astronomical. It's great. And by the way, Kimberly is going to show you an example of these too, so you can understand exactly how we're going to set these up. Re-engagement. So maybe you have customers, but they haven't ordered from you, you haven't heard from them, they're disengaged. So it's a great way to remind new customers of the value you provide and then entice them with new offerings. You could give them tailored recommendations. Maybe there's a promotion around the corner, but give them something to sort of re-engage them. So you can set a parameter, I haven't gotten an order from this customer in so long, or whatever your trigger might be. Add them to this campaign so we can re-engage these customers. And then lead nurturing. This one's pretty important. Nurtured leads make 47% larger purchases than non-nurtured leads. So what does that mean? So if we have a lead or a prospect, and lead nurturing is when we're kind of giving them consistent messages where we want to continue to talk to them. When they decide they're finally ready to buy, they're more likely to spend a little bit more money with your business. Okay, so that's it for my piece. I'm going to flip it over to Kimberly so she can show us how it works.
Try to share screen and unmute at the same time. It's not a good strategy. Give me 1 second here.
You're doing a great job.
Right, there we go. Can we see my screen?
I can.
Perfect. Okay. So thank you, Chelsea. I'm going to start today's product feature demo with a quick review of our existing functionality, because this drip campaign feature is very new. It's very flashy. It's very exciting. But I just want to reassure most of the folks on this call that our existing functionality it's still here. It still functions the exact same way. It's just under a new name, looks and feels a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the email tab here. And you'll notice on the left-hand side, we've got bulk emails and email campaigns. In the past, we've called our email campaigns, the email campaign name has now shifted to reflect the email drip. And then we have changed our current instance to bulk emails. This is the same functionality of sending a list view of contacts, your one-off email. You can still send up to 1,000 contacts and have those clicks, those opens, and record those recipients as well. That functionality is not changing. It's still here. It's still going to be available in your bulk actions. Don't worry, we're not changing it. We are adding, if anything. One other piece that I want to hit on before we dive into the email drip campaigns is some changes that we've made to our recipient list view. One of the biggest asks we have had over the course of developing the email drip campaigns and just working through this process as a brand was the ability to assign tasks based on those email campaigns that have been sent. So you sent an email and you want to create a follow-up task so you don't lose sight of it. Our answer to that at this time was to add the recipient owner to our recipient list. So you'll have the sender, but now you have the ability to filter via recipient owner. So you can filter for a specific team. So we've got Brandon Combs, James Hart, and then I can assign tasks to James that'll automatically associate to that person that this email has been sent to. So you'll be able to add that task and assign that type very similarly, and it'll automatically associate to that record type, allowing you to keep better track of your follow-ups and any to-dos that you may have associated with that bulk email or email campaign. You'll notice here that the bulk email column has also populated within your recipient columns. This is your way to determine if a recipient is included in our former feature or in the new feature. If there is no name here, that it means that they have been added to a campaign. And then so you would just add those campaign columns. They would pop up here and you'll be able to see which campaigns they were added to. If it's blank, it means it's been deleted. Keep in mind, I'm using a test account and I may have deleted some things before today's demo. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into email campaigns. So there's a couple important call outs here. And I want to start with the way that this looks and the way that this functions. By design, any of our add or addition buttons or create new buttons will be nested in the top right-hand corner. So we have what looks very familiar to a list view. You've got your system fields here: campaign, click rate, open rate, sent, status, time frame, type, and unsubscribe rate. Your status will tell you if this campaign has been enabled or not. So all of my campaigns right now are turned off. You can see my time frame if one has been selected, how many this campaign has been delivered to, my open rate, click rate, and unsub. This type is what we're going to get into in our next screen. So if we remember the three examples that Chelsea shared, we're going to start with a welcome email. So I'm going to start here in the right-hand corner with add new campaign. If you have used our automations in the past, the way that we're going to build these campaigns is going to feel very familiar. So we're going to start here on the details tab, and we're going to add in our title. And for today, we're going to put in welcome email. And I'm just going to leave it as welcome email. I'm going to say the start date. I'm going to back it up to the first. And I'm going to leave the end date open because I want this to run forever. This visibility here will be unique to executive users only. So I am logged in as an executive user. I will have the ability to send either a private email drip campaign, which means I can send to records that I myself have ownership of, or a global campaign, which means I can send to any and all contacts within my account. So because I'm an executive user, I'm going to select global. And I did miss a call out here. The campaigns with a start and end date will only send during the specified window. So if I say I wanted this to start in June, not a single email would send out in relation to this email campaign until June 1st. But for today, I'm going to back it back up to May. And then our description, this is going to be a welcome email with a CTA to sign up for a newsletter. So add an office address and unsubscribe link to campaign in compliance with the CAN-SPAM Act. This will help prevent your emails from hitting anybody's spam folders. Highly, highly, highly recommend checking that little box. And then go ahead and save and continue. Now, this is where we really get into how we can figure out who is going to be added to this campaign. So we have add to campaign. And again, I'm going to call back to our automations, but we have our win here. And this is where we get a little bit more technical, right? So we're wanting to send an email campaign to when a new person is created as a welcome email. So I'm going to select person when a person is created. And then my first condition here, all of these conditions are true, a list of logical and conditions. I'm going to start off with my type. And I'm going to say my type is lead. So in pipeline speak, we have two person types. We have lead and we have contact. Lead is someone that has not purchased from you. However, a contact is someone that has purchased from you. You have consistent contact with that person. So I'm going to go ahead and select lead. And then I'm going to add a couple additional conditions because I want this to encompass people that may exist already in my platform. So in my any, which is logical or conditions, I'm going to select created date. And I'm going to say is longer ago than 30 days. So I'm going to look at anybody that has been created within the last 30 days, and I'm going to add them to this welcome campaign. Call out here, I set this to start on May 1st. So even if a person is created before May 1st, if it was within the last 30 days, they will be added to this campaign. Adding a condition, I'm going to put has deals is false because maybe someone has been added these past few days and they're added as a contact, but they don't have any closed deals with me, meaning that I don't have any closed business with them. So their contact status or contact type may be out of date. So I'm going to add this in here to catch them just in case. We also have the ability to remove contacts from this campaign. So you can choose to when they receive all emails or when they receive all emails or reply to one of them. For today's purposes, I'm going to say when a person is updated, and I'm going to say their type changes to contact. So if a person has been created and their type is lead, created longer than 30 days, and they have 0 deals, they will receive this email and then they will be removed from receiving these emails or removed going forward when a person is updated and the type changes to contact. So that means that any person going forward that is updated to contact will not receive this email. And then you can also get a little bit more granular and add some exception rules. You can exclude specific contacts based on their names or their email addresses. You can also select companies to exclude complete companies all at one time. I've got quite a bit of pipeline stuff in here. And then you can exclude specific domains. So as I use a test account, I use test Gmail to ensure that I don't actually send any emails to people. So if I was to exclude this domain, there would be 0 recipients added. And then you can also exclude contacts from this campaign if they are active in another, if they are already associated with this campaign, or if they have been contacted during the past however many weeks. I'm going to leave that blank. And then the delivery schedule. So if you're sending emails and you want them to deliver on a very specific day, you can select a very specific day and then the specific times that you want those emails to be delivered. I'm going to go ahead and hit send immediately because for this welcome email, we're just going to send one email. Just do a quick review, make sure all of my settings are correct, and I'm going to save and continue. Now we're on to the campaign steps. So this is where you can add in multiple emails. So our first step is going to be send an email, and I'm going to have it 0 hours. You can set it for hours or days. So if I set this for the first and I want this to send, let's say 5 hours, it will wait from the time that I activate this campaign. It'll wait 5 hours to send that email. But I'm just going to put 0. And then now we're going to create an email. This says email template here, and we do have a couple of templates that we're going to be using today. I didn't stop and review how to create those. I'm running off the assumption that most know how to create email templates. But if you have questions, pop it in there, and if we have time, I can review it. So we're going to go ahead and create an email. This email builder is the exact same email builder that you have seen throughout our app. It is not changing. So you've got your subject line, your sender line, insert template, and then your email creation tools here. One major call out that I will say for our email drip campaigns is the ability for executive users sending a global campaign to send on the behalf of the recipient owner. So this means that this email would be received as if Chelsea sent it or if Lauren sent it to their contact. So Chelsea has Bob in her contact list, and I send Bob an email via this drip campaign. It's going to say from Chelsea. And the way that I ensure that their signature is populated in any type of way, we'll get to in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and insert a template. So my template is going to be selected from my pre-saved lists of templates. Here at Pipeline, we do not provide any pre-saved templates, but if you're interested in that for any way, you can reach out to customer care and we can kind of discuss that as it comes. But today I'm going to add in my welcome email, and then it will populate my subject line and then the body of my email. So I've got welcome to Acme Construction. We are thrilled to have you as a new customer and work with you on your upcoming project. You can edit this template in live time. You can also change and add and insert your web links for if they were to sign up for a newsletter, and then also populate your signature. Now these brackets here for first theme fallback are added via merge tags. At this time, the merge tags that are available for addition to your emails or email templates are going to be your person or contact records. So we've got first name, last name, work email, and company name, as well as any custom fields that you may have created. And you can populate those. There's no limit there. If I had more person custom fields, they would show at a very much longer list. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then I'm going to save and continue. So this is going to take me to my reports. It's going to list as 0 right now because, again, I've got my campaign off. So I haven't sent any emails at this time. And it's not going to show me as any participants because I have it off, so it's not pulling anybody in. If I go ahead and turn this on, it's going to be active today. It's going to start sending to my campaign list, and it'll start pulling in my participants as these emails send. You'll receive your delivered, your open rate, your click-through rate, and your unsubscribed information here. And then it will show you a graph as the performance grows over the course of however long you have this campaign set to run. And then it will also display the efficacy of your multiple emails, if there are, here under email performance. So that is the first example for the welcome email. And I'm going to back out here to the email campaigns, and you'll see that I have it here. My welcome email starting 5/1/2023, global, and it is toggled on. So with that, I'm going to take a beat, take a breath, and I'm going to show you how to create emails as a basic user, email campaigns as a basic user. And while I do that, if we need to review any questions, we can do so.
That is a great idea. I have maybe an easy question for you, Kimberly. Olivia is asking, can you send a bulk email to more than 1,000 recipients, or do we have that functionality in either of these features?
So you can send it to more than 1,000 recipients. It will go out in packets of 1,000 recipients. And this is to prevent your email, be it Gmail or Outlook, from flagging you or stopping your campaign. I had a client, I think it was last month, maybe 2 months ago, they sent out around 10,000. And they started to get kickbacks in terms of Outlook shutting them down. So you want to take a look and really make a good decision as to how many people you want to send per day, because these limits do reset every day. So you could have up to 1,000 recipients, but that's where those hours would come into play. So maybe send the first email on day 1 to over 1,000 recipients. Maybe you're going to send it to 5,000. It's going to send out 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 until that list has been fulfilled. And then the following day, turn on your secondary email campaign where it will send out again to that next 5,000 users. That way you're not hitting any roadblocks on your side within your email provider. But there is no limit to how many people can be contained within one email campaign. It's just about the limits that happen naturally over the course of your email provider. I'm going to flip real quick to a different user.
Another question, Kumoy asked, do we as users designate someone as a contact or a lead?
Yes. So when you're adding your new people to your pipeline instance, there's an option. I'm here on the people tab for type. And when you add a new contact in, you can toggle between contact or lead. And it is on your person field. Typically there is a little checkmark box. I have it taken off of my form, but you can add it in there and it'll say, is this a contact or a lead? And then I think type is down here somewhere else. If I take it off, I think it's down here. Yeah, I'd have to find it. It's under my form preferences, but I toggled over to a basic user, so I can't change those right now. So I'm logged in now as Andy. He is a manager within my account, and I'm going to have him set up an email campaign. So the email campaign that he's going to set up is going to be to re-engage construction leads, or re-engage leads. I'm sorry. If you have noticed from the last one, I did the Acme construction for the welcome email. This one is going to be a little bit different. It may even be a different company. So the first call out I want to say is that Andy does not have his email synced. So you're going to see a couple different error messages, but we're just going to disregard those and we're just going to act like they're not there today. Okay. So we're going to jump into email campaigns, and he doesn't have any created for himself. So he cannot see any of the ones that I, Kimberly, have created because he is a basic user. So I'm going to go ahead and add new email campaign. Again, ignore this, act like it's not there. So you will notice that there's a setting missing here, right? So he doesn't have the ability to toggle from private to global. He doesn't even know that that exists at this point. So he's going to go ahead and put in his title here, and that's going to be re-engage leads. And he's going to start this, let's say today. We're going to re-engage existing customers. And we're going to send 2 emails.
Kimberly, just a quick QC note. Make sure the title matches the description. Yeah, make it re-engage existing customers. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, all good. Beautiful.
There we go.
Perfect.
And then it will alert you if you do not have your email or your office address configured. You can do that under the My Profile settings. We review that in our onboarding bootcamp in session 1. It walks along with syncing your email, which is why that error message is there. Again, we're going to ignore it. We're going to pretend it's not there. Save and continue. So we're re-engaging existing customers. This means that Andy has closed deals with some people and he really wants to follow up and get them back on his books. So what we're going to use for our add to campaign is when a deal is updated. Now, whenever you're choosing the updated trigger, you have to make sure that you have a change attribute identified. So we're going to select when all of these conditions are true, and we're going to say deal stage. So we're going to say deal stage changes. Why am I not? I'm not getting my secondary button here. Give me 1 second. We may have a bit of an issue.
Okay, while you're tinkering with that, there was a question that came through. John is asking, will the seminar be saved as a recording? Absolutely. And additionally, the deck that I shared is going to be emailed to you guys as well. And there's a couple of helpful links in there for getting started for additional information. And then I wanted to call out something else. Someone else had asked if the statistics I shared were B2C or B2B in regards to the engagement statistics. And they were a little bit of both, but I built the presentation because I knew you guys are probably a mix. And I even did some due diligence, and there are still high levels of expectations for personalization, even in B2B. So everything that I shared in the slide deck previously is absolutely relevant, whether you're a B2C or a B2B customer, whether you're talking to consumers or you're talking to vendors or other businesses, everything that I shared absolutely applies. And that was designed that way. So it's kind of high level. So you can take, what we're offering and just mold it to suit your business, because you know your business best. But we just wanted to give you a good jumping off point and really set you up for success for this feature.
Perfect. Thank you. I went ahead and toggled back to Kimberly because we're just going to stay in my executive user life now. So we're back to deal is updated. So when a deal stage changes to, so again, this is re-engaging existing customers. So we're going to do deal stage changes to, and we're going to select 1. You'll notice that I have several pipelines here. I'm going to pick my sales pipeline. So I've got all of these conditions are true and deal stage changes to 1. Now, there is a couple other items that I'm going to add under all of these conditions, because this is going to be a very specific subset of customers, because I'm working again as Andy. So I want to target my customers. So I'm going to add another and condition, and I'm going to say date of completed service, because I am a construction company. I'm completing a service with a person, and I want to say is within the last 180 days. So I have serviced this customer or closed a deal with this customer within the last 180 days. I'm trying to use a mix of system fields and custom fields here just to show some functionality. But if you wanted to use actual close date, which is a system field, you can totally do that as well. So actual close date will be the date that deal has been moved to the 1 stage. And we can also do 180 days there as well. So maybe the actual close date is different than the date of completed service. So with this one, it would fit better under the any. So I'm going to go ahead and put any actual close date is longer ago than 180 days. So that way it'll pull in both. And then I also want to add a condition, because I'm logged in as Kimberly, I'm going to say the owner is Andy, because I want to just target his specific customers. I can create this on behalf of Andy, and this is a great little pivot to show how that's possible. So again, we're going to re-engage our existing customers for Andy here. We have it when a deal stage changes to 1, date of completed services within 180 days, and the owner is Andy. And it's also looking at the actual close date is longer ago than 180 within Andy's deals. I'm going to leave the remove from campaign and then the exception rules. Actually, I'm going to change remove from campaign when they receive all emails or reply to one of them, and you'll see why here in a minute. And my exception rules are going to be alone. I'm going to leave those alone, and my delivery schedule, I'm going to leave those alone. So I'm going to save and continue and move on to my campaign steps. So we're going to add our email. For the first email, it's going to send out today. It's going to send out immediately. As soon as people are added to this, I want this rolling. So my very first email is going to be via a template, and I'm going to insert my template for my Pro Build Construction Reengage. So I used Acme previously. We're now moving into a different company or Pro Build now. Keeping you on your toes. So we've got our nice worded email here. We've got our contact information here at the bottom. I've got my call out at the top in terms of like at Pro Build, we're committed to exceptional construction services. I have our services offered here, and we're really trying to garner interest to see like, hey, are there things out in your peripherals that maybe you haven't thought of? So the first subject is going to be Pro Build, your trusted partner for all of your construction needs. And there might be, maybe I did an oversight here. So maybe I should say thank you for your business and then launch in to @Pro Build and reinforce. And then, so I've got this line here, whether you're a longstanding client or a new customer, we're re-engaging, right? So we're going to take this out. And maybe just do some grammatical fixing. So just because you insert a template doesn't mean you can't make live changes in the moment. And you can also make your changes to your template at any time and save and update those changes. So I've got my first template with my information here. I populated my James Shaw. So this means that James created this template. I'm going to change this to Andy. And then there's one more thing that I have to change, and that's the sender. Because I'm focusing on Andy's contacts, I'm going to go ahead and select that the sender is Andy. So now every single person that Andy had, or every single deal that has a person associated to it that Andy has interacted with, will receive this email that he has closed 1. So that one is 0 hours from the previous step because it is my first step, and I'm going to add a secondary email. I didn't have an offer or any type of specific call out in that specific email. It's just getting me at the top of their inbox to say, hey, look at this, like I'm still here. Look at all of these things that we can do. Now we're going to send an email, and we're going to say days. We're going to say 10 days from that previous step. We're going to send them an offer. So I'm going to send them a flyer for Work and Build Smarter, and send them our services and offer them 45% off all services booked within the next 3 months. Give us a call today and let's get your next project started. So the first email gave us a great call out, and they could reference that and say, hey, you have all of these services. I also listed our services on the flyer. And I was able to save this flyer as a template, quickly, easily apply this, get that exclusive discount in there, my subject line, and go ahead and save that in there. And you'll see that we have both of our emails applied. And this one will send 10 business days after that first email is sent. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save and continue. And we're back to our reports page here again. So you'll see that we have our email performance, subject 1, subject 2. And you can see the delivered, the opens, and the unsubscribes specifically for those emails as well. And then if I was to toggle this on here, it will automatically update. There is no saving or anything like that that needs to do so for turning it on or off. And then if I come back to my email campaigns, I now see that I have 2 turned on. You can see that I have a couple private. So this is private because I am targeting one specific user's information. So we're just going to pretend that Andy created that one. So I see the questions are starting to stack up, and we do have one more example. So I can move through that one pretty quickly because now that we've gotten kind of the basics down, I don't have to stop and explain every single step. So I'm going to go ahead and create the lead nurturing one really quickly. So we're going to do lead nurture. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to say that this is for people. So we are doing when a person is created. And this is going to be a little bit different from our welcome email. And we're going to go ahead and hit save and continue. So we're going to do when a person is created again, and we're going to say their type is contact, because we've already, this is someone that we have established contact with, but maybe they haven't closed with us, or they are in possibly a different stage within the pipeline. So we're going to add in a deal information here. We're going to say has deals is true. So this is looking at people that have deals on their profile. So we're again trying to nurture these people and really get down to the details and track where they're looking to go with us, or possibly offer them a discount as well. So we're going to leave it as when a person is created, type is contact, and has deals is true. We're going to say when a deal is updated, and we're going to say the stage, deal stage changes to, we're going to say delivery, because we don't want to offer any discounts after qualified or negotiation. So I'm going to go ahead and add that deal stage in here as well. So that way it will exclude those specific people. We'll say negotiation as well. And then we're going to go ahead and move over to save and continue, add an email, create the email. We're going to insert our painter email, because this is what we're doing for our lead nurture. And then we can follow up with those individuals, ask them if they want to move forward, or possibly how they want to build their business with us. And maybe they're not aware of all of the offerings that we have within our book of business. So if we save that, I'm actually going to put this as 5 hours from the previous step. Just for the purposes of differences, hit save and continue. And we have our third email campaign created and saved out. So once you have the bones of it down and you can move through these triggers pretty quickly, you can get these established and spun up very easily. One thing that I will say is I put in a couple exclusionaries here. So remove from campaign when a deal is, right? And then I have when a person is created and contact is true, or has deals is true. Let's say it's not pulling in people, or I want to add some people from a previous list, you are still able to add them from your list views. So you can see that I'm on my campaign list here. I can select all 28 of these users and add them automatically to a campaign. So I can add lead nurture people, and I can add them directly to that email campaign, and they will pop up in that reports section. So if I pop in here and I click into reports, you'll see that my recipients are here. I moved through that last one like really quick. So if you have questions, definitely submit them.
Kimberly, can you navigate back to the reports tab? Because there was a couple
Yes.
questions on reports. Specifically, when this is sent, are we able to see who opened the email, i.e. contact names, or just percentages? So down here where we have participants, we are able to see the contacts and how they interacted with the campaigns.
Yeah, so you can see if they've received the email here. And then you will be able to see how many click through, and then the opens here exactly. And you can click over to recipients itself and filter for the campaign names. The campaign names will populate once the email has been sent. So you can see that I've got a couple campaigns here. I can pull that over and I can see who clicked on these emails. So I've got pipeline product webinar contact management ones that I've sent out. And I can see if they have clicked on it or opened the email. So right now I'm not showing a real strong click rate there. But yes, you can see it directly. You can see once they receive the emails, and then you would view that specific detail from the recipients tab.
Okay. Another question. This is a two-parter. Rob is asking, can we have some users on develop and some on grow? And then once we upgrade, do we have instant access or is there any setup work?
Great questions. So first, to address the first part, we do not split plans. So it's all or it's everyone all at once. So it would be the entire account moves over to Grow, and then you, as the executive admin, have the ability to decide who can send email campaigns. There's a toggle within the user settings of who has access to those email campaigns. In terms of setup, the email campaigns are not canned. We don't have really any templates that we provide at this moment, but we can definitely provide the examples that we've talked about today. And also provide any supporting knowledge base articles or offer training to walk you through or talk you through your exact scenarios to see what would best fit your needs. That is a service that we offer if you are one of my accounts or if you worked with myself or Ashley. You could definitely bring that up on our quarterly calls, our monthly calls. It's something that we're always excited to talk about and really see how Pipeline can work for your business.
Okay. I know that we're over on time by a few minutes, because we were scheduled till 45 after, but I think we should answer some of these questions and then we
Yes.
can probably wrap up at the top of the hour. So I just wanted uh to mention that, because we have a lot of great questions coming in. So the next question, Kenny's asking, I'm pretty sure that all of my people are entered as contacts. Is there a way that I can view them and then change them?
Yes.
Because
So
of-
if you are looking at your people, and let's go to all people because that's the most common list view that most users use, right? You'll have your type column here. You can filter by contact or lead here, and then you can also select, and I believe you can change. You may have to do an update by import. I might be a little too far out of range. It's not one of our bulk actions that you can update them all at once, but we can talk you through that. You can toggle automatically through them, but I would pick like an identifying factor. So you'll see that my status column, I've got some of these warms. I would go ahead and select and filter to my warm, which would take my 2000 list to 151. I would export this list, and you can see that I have a few as leads. Maybe I would filter just to contacts. So now I'm down to 98. So these are 98 that I have to update with lead. You can do that at any time. So you can change that one by one, or you can export this list and fill down and then re-import, and it will update as well.
Okay, thank you. Anne is asking, do we design our own conditions or are they uniform to what Pipeline has?
That's the beauty of this software release, right? So you get to design it, you get to choose it. It's what's important to you and what's important to your business. What works best for you? Do you work more with companies? So then you would use more company attributes. Do you work more with people or contacts? You would use more people attributes. As long as there's a company or a person associated to a deal within a work email, you can send them an email from our campaign function.
Okay. And then this is a good one from Morgan. When a drip campaign is created, will it remove unsubscribes for future emails if they opted out? So if the drip campaign is 5 emails long and they opt out of the first, will they be automatically removed from the other 4?
They should not receive any further email communications from Pipeline, period. That is a very important distinction. So if they choose to unsubscribe from your email campaign and you go to send them an email from Pipeline later, so you just use, like, say you go to people and you click on their email address here and go to send them an email, this would go into their spam folder or it would be blocked wholly. So you would have to go and send them an email from your personal email platform within Gmail or Outlook, and then they would still receive emails from you. They just wouldn't receive the emails from Pipeline directly.
Do you know if there is any type of workaround for that?
It is using your personal email, like removing yourself from Pipeline. The email will still deposit into Pipeline. It will still show in the activity feed, but the only thing you'll be missing is the clicks and the opens there.
I have some questions regarding interfaces with Asana and project management. So can you talk a little bit about, I don't remember off the top of my head which project management or if we have any integrations.
So we are actually working on our integration strategy at the moment. So it's a really hot topic for Pipeline overall. Our dev team is in some hot heated discussions about where we're going to go and what connections we will offer. In terms of project management at this time, we don't have a direct integration, but we do have an open API. So we really put the power in the customer's hands in terms of customizing their connections and what they really need. And we do provide the documentation, and we have some additional support if needed. So if you have a dev on your side that would build that connection and needs to talk to somebody on our side, like, hey, how do I make this and this connect? We can definitely facilitate that for you. I have quite a few customers who connect their ERP system into Pipeline, and they have that open-ended backflow of information back and forth. If you want to reach out to our customer care team and drop those areas of where you're looking to, chat with us. My chat isn't coming up because I'm in a test account, but if you chat with us and you drop in, so I think it's Asana I saw, as well as there was another one in there somewhere, but I missed it. If you drop that into our customer care, we can definitely get that over to the proper teams and we can see what we can do for you.
Great. All right. I have one more question left. I think it might be an easy one. How can you send based on tags?
Yeah. The best way to do that would be to come into your email campaigns when you are setting up. We're just going to put this in here as tag based. Save and continue. You can do your person is updated, created, deleted, and then you add in your tag. So then you can say includes or excludes. So if I was to do excludes and I wanted to select a few, like I say, I wanted to exclude my baseball fans, you can create it based off of these exact add tos. Or like I said, you can still go into your Pipeline account, come to your people tab, filter your tags here. So I can say that I want to do active leads. I've got about 113 of those. You filter to your active leads, and you can go ahead and add them to your tag-based email campaign. I'm not going to do that because I haven't audited those emails.
Okay. Okay. I think that's all from the questions that we have coming in. If we missed you for any reason, we'll reach out to you directly. And then just as a reminder, we will be sending out this slide deck so you can use as reference. There's a couple of helpful links in the back as you start to build your email drip campaigns, and we will be distributing this recording so you can go back and watch it and use it as reference as well.
Yes. One more thing that I just wanted to get to really quick because I see a couple questions about it. Importing is very straightforward. If you have questions about importing, hit up customer care. We can talk you through it. We also have our great knowledge base for how to import and importing your leads. So we've got undo and import. Can I update my company's deals and people? Like all of these things, right? Our imports are cascading. So we start with companies, we import the people attached to those companies, and then you can import the deals associated to those companies. We support CSV and Microsoft XLS. And as long as your column headers are nicely, clearly defined, you won't have any problems because each column within your Excel or CSV correlates to a field within Pipeline. Sorry, just had to plug that out there. So definitely we will include importing resources when we send this out.
Awesome. Anything else? Closing remarks from you, Kimberly?
If your account is not currently on Grow, then definitely reach out. We can activate a trial for you so you can really play around with this functionality. I did see a question in there is this free to use? It is free to use and it's included with Grow. If you are on Starter Develop, I would speak to your account admin about getting that trial activated for your team. We typically offer a 2-week trial, which would give you a good use case. There are a couple settings that we can talk you through as well when it comes to email sync or functionality that is going to be listed in the resources. Additionally, I could talk about this all day, so I'm going to stop.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for your time. You'll be getting all this information from us. Of course, if you have any other questions at any time, we're here for you. Let us know. But with that, thank you for joining us and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.